First one of the morning. Little guy, but I'll take him. They're still eating that chatterbait with the fluke trailer. He's a little tiny one, 12-incher, but and I was seeing some fish chasing out here. So I picked up my chatterbait, and I think that was my second or third cast. We're finally getting some cool mornings, or cool nights, I guess, cool mornings. And it has turned this lake on big time. Oh, there was another bite right there. And I'm not even saying like for big ones. I haven't caught a big one in quite a while, but just there's more stuff going on. You wake up and the birds are chirping. You wake up and, I mean, when I got to the lake, I saw some fish busting by the ramp. Like there's just stuff going on. And 2 weeks ago, it was so hot and brutally, the fishing was just so brutal. And now it's finally starting to at least show some hope. For a while there, we didn't even have hope. There's a good one. That feels like a big one. Oh, that is a big one. Oh, freaking crushed it too. Don't jump. Don't jump. Get it swallowed. Oh, there we go. There's a freaking meat hammer. Oh, baby. There's a good one for the morning. Oh, haven't caught one that big in a while, to be honest. Wrecked the chatterbait. Chatterbait, I want to guess that weighs about 4.5, maybe more. Let's see what the TH scale says. .52. 4.52. I'm gonna set him in the live well for just a second so I can get a photo. All right. Time to release this guy. Please just come bite again one day. That's awesome. Oh, what a good way to start the morning. All right. Got a picture taken. Got her weighed and released. All within about, I don't know, a minute. I'm hoping we can catch some more like that, because that, my friends, right there is what you call didn't suck. So I'm just fishing this chatterbait over, there's like 4 or 5 different kinds of grass. So we've got hydrilla, milfoil, eelgrass, and then there's another kind of grass they call pondweed, is what a lot of people are calling it. I don't know the actual name for it, but so we're fishing a little bit of everything, and I think that's a really good mixture. So we're fishing humps. On top of the humps, there's grass, but I'm just covering this area with a chatterbait. It's the same one that I bought in that $20 challenge, but I'm just kind of fan casting around. There's really no, I'm sure there's people who know these humps really, really well and have secret, you know, little special casts on them, but honestly, I don't. I've got a couple that I like better than others, but honestly, I just like going just fishing down them. And once you get a bite, you know, hit spot lock or just slow down in that area and see if you can get some more bites. But nothing too fancy about it. Just going fishing, putting the trolling motor down and making a bunch of casts. There's another good one. At least not as big as the last one, but it's a pretty good one. Whoa. Wanted to come off, eh? Oh. Come on, buddy. Little guy. Not terrible. Here's what I've learned. Every fish ain't gotta be a 6-pounder. That right there is fun. I don't care who you are. Every fish doesn't have to be a 6-pounder, but I do know where I caught him at, and I'm gonna throw right back over there. And maybe his granddaddy will be over there. Maybe they'd have been laid up on a couch, and his granddaddy also hates chatterbaits. That's kind of what I was hoping for, to be honest with you. There's one. They're schooled up right on this one cast. Ow! There we go. Get off. And hey, by the way, check out my new rod holder I figured out about Ranger. It's just random gigantic holes in the middle for their seat plugs or seat pedals, whatever you want to call them. I've been putting my rods in there. That's a good rod holder. Let's see if there's any more schooled up. They're all sitting on this one cast. It's out on the end of this hump. Eelgrass and milfoil and that pondweed out there. And these fish are just loaded up in it. And I'm gonna show y'all at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you why I chose this fluke trailer instead of a swim bait or a crawl. I got a very specific reason for that, and it has to do with what I'm doing right now. All right, so here's what I'm fishing, and sorry for my graph being so dirty, but basically you can see where I've covered. I fished, you know, down this point. Like the hump is up here, obviously, and you can see there's a point coming off the end of it, and I just worked my way up through that point, and as I got on the hump, I cut across it. And honestly, the way I like fishing, I should have just kept going straight here and then worked down the whole thing in the middle. But anyhow, I kind of cut off. I probably missed a lot of fish right there, to be dead honest. But anyhow, I cut across, and as I got to the very edge of it, I made this cast, and I just put this waypoint here. But I made this cast and caught a fish there. That's actually where I caught the big one. And then as I got about maybe right around here, I started throwing back at the same area and started catching some more fish. So you can see there, you know, obviously that green is the hump, and there's deep water on the side of it. Here's another hump on the side. There's another hump over there. And I'm just working, you know, throughout the day. I'll just get on one of these humps, pretty much get in the dead middle of it, or maybe on the deeper side of it, and I'll make casts going out into this deeper water, and then make casts going up onto the hump, and just kind of figure out where the fish are sitting at. That's typically how I like to break them down, and you know, works out pretty good for me. Not always, but it's just how I like to do it. I can feel my bait. If you have a sensitive rod, you can feel this grass. And honestly, if you get to fishing it a bunch, you can tell the different kinds of grass that's out there just by the way that it reacts on your bait. You can feel it in your rod. Like eelgrass, for an example, completely kills your bait. Like instantly, the second you touch it, it just stops it. Eelgrass is so flat and it's so long that as soon as it touches your bait, it just completely kills the action of it. But you can rip it free from eelgrass very easily. So then your bait starts working again. That's kind of the telltale sign. Like here's a piece of eelgrass. I don't know if you can see it. There's a piece of eelgrass right there on the water. My bait has that eelgrass on it now. Oh, as it's in the water, it will, but watch this. As I get up to it, you can rip straight. I literally just chopped 5 pieces of eelgrass in half. So when your bait's out there and you rip it and you know, snatch your bait free out of it, you can rip out of eelgrass really easily. All right, so that's gonna wrap up today's video. Caught a couple fish really quickly on a chatterbait. I didn't have a lot of time to fish today, so gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But I wanted to talk about chatterbait fishing and kind of not only my setup. I'm gonna quickly go over the setup, but I wanted to mainly talk about trailers. But for the setup, I'm using a Quantum Accurus 7.4 heavy, Quantum Energy 7.3 to 1, 15-pound fluorocarbon, and a 1/2 ounce Z-Man chatterbait. This is the one that I bought in that $20 challenge, just the shad color with some chartreuse on it. But the main reason I wanted to show this ending is I've been throwing this straight-tailed trailer like a fluke. This one's actually made by Big Bite Baits, but basically there's 3 different kinds of trailers that you want to use when you're throwing chatterbait. A swim bait, like a paddle tail swim bait. This has a lot of action in the butt. You know, it's just a shad swim bait. Also, you have a soft body jerk bait, like a soft plastic jerk bait or a fluke, and a crawl. You can rig it, you know, horizontally where it's this way, where the tails kick like you're throwing a jig trailer, or you can throw it sideways. That way the legs kick sideways through the water. And there's a different place for each one of these. So the #1 trailer to keep the bait down. So I'm fishing around grass, and the key when you're fishing this bait around grass is ripping it out of the grass. Not just fishing around it, but you actually want to be in contact with it. And you'll see me a lot of times when I'm fishing it, I'm just ripping my rod half the time. I'm just crazy ripping it, and then you'll load up on one. But it's because of all that just crazy erratic action. And a straight tail, like a fluke trailer, helps keep your bait down in the grass because there's no tail kicking. And when a tail's kicking, it wants to rise the bait up. So then we'll go to this paddle tail swim bait. Probably my favorite trailer as far as like what I use year round, except it wants to pull the bait up in the water column a little more than that fluke does. So if I can get by with it, if I'm not fishing deeper, or you know, if I'm, you know, especially if I'm fishing around the bank, a lot of times I'm going to go with the swim bait style trailer. And then last but not least, and very important, is a crawl style trailer. Most of the time I'm going to use a crawl style trailer on my green pumpkins and my crawl colors. I don't preference, you know, personally, I don't use a crawl like a white crawl or a, you know, this is like a sexy shad color. It's a crawl shaped bait, but it's a sexy shad color. If I'm imitating a shad, I'm gonna go with the fluke or the swim bait. If I'm imitating a crawfish with a crawfish color bait versus this one being a shad color bait, that's when I'll go with a crawl style trailer. The deal with a crawl style trailer is it's got 2 appendages in the back that kick really hard. Whatever brand it is, this one's a Reaction Innovation Spicy Beaver, but whatever brand it is, they've got 2 legs kicking, and you can rig it where they kick sideways, or you know, horizontally or vertically, depending on how you rig it on the hook, this way or this way. And it has a ton of really good action, but it wants to lift the bait all the way. You can basically wake that thing on top, because, not really, because it'll kill the blade, but you can reel that thing so high in the water column, you can see it coming back to you the whole time. And that's really good for a lot of things. If you're fishing ultra shallow, if you're fishing on the bank, if you're skipping it around docks, that's when I want to go with a crawl style trailer. That's when I'll use a green pumpkin color, or you know, a brim color, or even they're coming out. I saw they're coming out with a red, like a Gunnersville red crawl, like Rayburn red kind of color. So I'm pretty excited about that. But anyhow, I just wanted to go over the 3 styles of chatterbait trailers that I mostly use, or that you should use, and kind of just give an explanation of why to use one over the other. But anyhow, hope you guys are enjoying the videos. You know, it's hopefully gonna start cooling down now. There's some cooler mornings been coming in, so maybe the fishing's gonna get a little bit better, but regardless, I'm gonna still keep trying to crank out 3 videos a week, and you know, hopefully you guys will keep enjoying them. Please do me a favor, go subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. My channel went through a little funk and I don't really know why, but I'm just happy that I got to 20,000. But if you could go smash that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. And other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one.